Welcome to Soul of an Empath, the podcast that helps empaths to feel loved, seen, heard, and understood in all areas of your life. Now here's your host, Tiffany Cano.
Welcome back to Soul of an Empath. I'm Tiffany Cano, and today we have beautiful Rae Irelan on the show. I love Rae. I have loved her since the moment I met her a couple years ago. Let me tell you a little bit about Rae, okay? So Rae is an internationally acclaimed artist, speaker, mentor, and entrepreneur with the mission to bridge conscious culture and business to catalyze positive transformation and personal growth and human and business development and healing of global trauma, which is definitely something that we need right now in today's society. She's also the founder and CEO of the Global Goddess Fest. Rae coaches high-level entrepreneurs, leaders, and creatives to pioneer new ways of business and relating. Rae supports her clients through the stages of human transformation while developing conscious business and global impact. She's performed and spoken in front of audiences over 10,000 people at venues like Pepsi Amphitheater to the National Center of Performing Arts in Mumbai, sharing stages with Jason Mraz, Emancipator, Trevor Hall, which I really love Trevor's forgiveness song and use it often, and many, many others. She's recorded multiple albums, toured internationally, been seen on TV and film, nominated and taken home multiple music awards, produced multiple theater shows and festivals, and has been published in books, magazines, articles, doctoral papers, and is now writing her first book to come out next year in 2021. So that is my beautiful Rae.
Ooh, thank you for all the things in that introduction. It's definitely fun to be here with you, and I'm excited to dive in.
Yes, Rae is someone that I love so much that I have even invited her to come back for the second time to be a healer and mentor in my group mentor program called Embodiment, Conscious Creation, Love, and Empowerment. And so Rae and I, we gel, and I love the energy and the feminine beauty and power that she brings. She's even going to do a guided meditation for us today. And let's first, though, start with your story. Like, tell me what made you who you are today.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm just so excited for you to have me on here. And I definitely love working with your clients. Like we have such a fun time while we go really deep. And so it's just a beautiful container that you've set up for, people that are looking for this deeper level of healing and transformation. So my story basically starts off with, me being an artist. I grew up as a dancer and as an artist my whole life, and went to college for dance, and then was dancing professionally in New York and Boston, started a little dance company also. And, I was just like fully on track to do that, go be on Broadway and tour the world dancing. That was my goal. And I really felt at the time that like I was able to express, to be my fullest self through my body. And if you asked me to talk or sing, I was like, I don't do that. Like I'll express through my body. So of course, sometimes we get given like the medicine, that's the hardest to swallow, which for me was actually getting completely injured. And fracturing both shins and tearing a ligament in my spine. At the time, it was caused from over dancing and over stress and not taking care of myself. And as years progressed and I went on this spiritual journey of healing and growth, I realized there was a lot going on there that was actually not just part of the physical body, but it was this desire to connect more with spirit, and just lots of blocks that I had around it and receiving that sort of guidance. So funny enough, that took me on a journey of becoming a musician and a singer. And it was one of those things where I just needed to conquer this fear. And I ended up falling in love with music because I felt into the healing vibrations that it had and the frequencies that it provided for me to just be in like my freedom of expression. And so I went on this really wild journey of basically getting in a car and just playing on the street all across the country, going from city to city, small town to city, and playing for pennies on the street. And that's really how I lived for a while. And we grew this band over the span of 5 years into a nationally touring act with full management and booking agencies and all of that. And so it was really like, again, this like revving up, just like how my dance career was revving up, then the music career was revving up. And again, here came in that self-sabotage. And it came in the form of really a deep, deep depression of feeling like there were pieces of trauma that I hadn't dealt with. There were things that I had still like stuffed inside. And I also just felt like I wasn't being of service in the way that I knew I could be. And so all of this piled on, and then we added in some substance abuse because, hey, it was rock and roll, And so all of this piled on actually led me to, after one of my shows, driving home and deciding to take a drive and take the car right off of the freeway, off of a cliff, and roll down a canyon.
Oh,
And it was like, everything was falling apart. And it was such an example of what was happening in my internal world of just extreme chaos and disruption and sadness and anger and all of the things. And so the car accident happened and the car landed straight up, and it was just guidance from my angels, from my guides.
oh yeah, I see that. Like I see all those guardian angels and celestial helpers protecting you, Rae. You're so lucky.
So lucky. And I think, we all have them. We all have them in our area, in our energy, in our auras at all times. We just forget about them. And so sometimes, we do really crazy, stupid things as humans, and they come in to swoop us off, and they're like, hey, like, you got some work here to do. And so that's what it really felt like. They caught me and they gave me a nice like slap on the face, and they're like, come on, girl, like, you're not done
Get
here.
together.
Yeah, get it together. You got stuff to do. And so it just led me on a journey of deep healing, because I realized at that point, like, my vision got clear of what was possible. And I realized, okay, I'm here for a reason, so what is that reason? I started to taste it, but I still had no idea how I was going to do anything amazing, or helpful. Even just helpful at that time wouldn't be amazing. Because I felt like I was into so many pieces, like my relationship to myself, my body, I had gone through eating disorders, to abortion, to, just abusive relationships. It was a mess. And so I just dove into the healing. It was a point where I had no other option than to heal. And so I went the east to west, all around the world, studying everything I could, coaching, therapies, modalities, healing practices, shamanism, all of it, to just start to come back to my center and back to myself. And as I did, there was this desire to pass on the information that I had learned, about empowerment, about transformation, about healing. And that's really what started my coaching business. And I did that for a few years. And then after a little bit of time, the success, it just skyrocketed really quickly. And so after a few years, then people started coming to me and asking, okay, so how have you always done this like crazy business stuff? How have you been able to like make things happen really fast? And it seems like you're, on track, and like you're not losing yourself in it. And so I started doing more business coaching. And so focusing on what does it mean to do sacred, sexy sales? What does it mean to have an enchanting message? Yeah. And like bringing in the soul with business and strategy. And so that's what I've been doing for the past few years, and really combining both the business and the transformational work to like up level us as humans that are doing our deep healing, becoming that version of ourselves who we want to be, that future version, stepping into it now because we don't have time to waste. And then for some clients, they feel so inspired to share it with others, so they want to make their business, scale their business, and really make that big impact. So that's the journey that I support now. And of course, still doing my music and art and dancing and theater and film and writing the book. So it's this beautiful balance of, giving back in the coaching space. And then really for me in the arts, I feel like I receive a lot. That's where I get to take and eat and just get so fulfilled. So that's my story in a nutshell.
Wow. And I want to unpack a little bit of this. So when you were, in a darker place, right? Do you think that was in part because you didn't realize how empathic you were and how much you were sponging up from other people and environments that you were in?
Absolutely. I had no idea. Like no one told me about what being an empath was, when I was young, and I always felt like I was sensitive. But it's interesting because I think there's two different types of sensitive people as well. There's the sensitive people that know they're sensitive, and then everyone else knows they're sensitive. I'm thinking about my sister. Like we just knew she was the sensitive one in the family. And so you create different like ways that you move through life. For me, I was actually on the other side where I was sensitive, and I knew this from a young age. So I developed ways to pretend like I wasn't, right? To stand out more and be more bold and, put on these costumes and masks. Like as a performer, I got really good at that. And that was something that I had to unpack during my healing journey, was like, why do I keep putting on these costumes? Why do I keep feeling like I need to put on this mask? And what I learned was it was because I was so sensitive that I felt like I couldn't survive if I didn't. And so as an empath, over time, especially under the influence of substances, while, we were going one show to the next, we would do tours where we'd be gone for 30 days and play 25 nights, and that's a show in a different town almost every night.
Wow.
So being in that environment definitely, I wasn't sleeping well, I wasn't eating well, all of the things kind of stacked up. And I think that's why it really all came to a head at that time of my life. And after that, now it's been a journey of learning, okay, as someone that's sensitive, that doesn't want to always be living with a mask or a costume on, how do I move through life? How do I protect myself and my energy, and also, put myself out there? Because I am a performer. I do want to, share and feel everything. Like I don't want to be numb to it. So it's a journey, and it's a very, very fine line that I think everyone gets to understand and move through, and understand what is their healing journey. What does that look like to be playing full out in life, and also be honoring where you're at and your emotions and your sensitivities.
And is there a song or a sound that comes to you that could be like this warm embrace of divine protection for us sensitive folk?
Yeah, I'll sing like the first verse of this one song that I think it ties into the protection of the universe and of the earth, really. I like to imagine, I'll give you kind of an image and then I'll sing this first verse, is like, the stars that are above us are like a blanket, and the earth, it's there's heat, the core of the earth is so hot. So it's like, it's this bed that we get to be on and nurture and be nurtured. So this song, I think this will be a fun piece. So I'll just start off with it. So I put my heart in the stars and trust in the sun. This journey, my dear, has just begun. Release fear as our travels are long. No need to bear weight, let go and run. We'll sing for the beauty of the land we walk on. Heart in the stars and trust in the sun. We'll sing for the beauty and the land we walk on. Hands laced together, souls on the run.
Thank you. That was beautiful.
Yeah.
Oh. And she does that in sessions too, like helping people to release their blocks to being heard and being able to express themselves. Um, and having, others who are receiving that from them, like to be the reflection of sound. And the words were beautiful as well. Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah, absolutely. My pleasure.
And what are other ways that you like to work with your clients?
Yeah, another way that I love to just play is in the vision space. I think a lot of times when we're experiencing pain or this feeling of, not being as connected as we know we could be, or not feeling as fulfilled as we know we could be, it comes from this experience of knowing the possibilities, knowing the potential, and then not taking action to get there. And so sometimes there's some other, deeper causes to why someone would not be taking action to get to that space. But one thing that I would like to share is usually a lack of clarity. I hear this so often from all different types of people is, well, I just don't have clarity. The thing is you do have clarity. You probably just need to take a second and stop doing what you're doing, because the doing is just distracting you. Take a moment, calm your energy, calm your nervous system, so that way you can actually hear the messages that are already there. They're not new, they've been there. Hear the messages that are already there, and then also trust them. Because a lot of times I think that last piece is what we forget to do. We're like, we get the vision, and it's like, oh, that could never happen. So you dismiss it, but it's like, that's the clarity you're looking for. So we do a lot of that deep work around identity and stepping into that future vision, and what does it look like to have clarity, and then what are the steps that you need to take to get there.
And is that something that you'd be willing to play with us with right now to give us a taste of
Yeah.
that? Thank
Yeah,
you.
absolutely. Let's do a little visualization around our future self and stepping into that. And this will really just be like the first piece. Like, I just want to give you all a little taste, and then, if you want to dive in deeper, you can reach out to Tiffany or I, and we'll be able to unravel what's next. Like, how do you get there? But I think this clarity piece is usually the first most important piece. So close your eyes, drop into your body, drop into your breath. Bring your feet to the ground. Feel your body's weight on the seat. And as you're here, just allow your entire body to relax. There's nowhere to be, nowhere to go, nothing to do. Allow your breath to drop into your lower belly. Release it like the Buddha. Allow it to just hang. And actually, if we bring our breath to our lower belly, we're activating our diaphragm and the lower parts of our lungs. When we do this, the nervous system is able to be calm and relax, because you're able to actually get more oxygen to your brain in this space. Just enjoying this moment. And then taking yourself to a peaceful place that you've been to before, or possibly a brand new space. And as you enter, just looking around, noticing what is there. Where are you? What does it feel like to be there? What are the colors that are around you? What does it smell like? What's the weather like? And just noticing what you're doing here in this peaceful place. And as you do, feeling your body relax, your nervous system calm, and let's bring in our future self from 1 year from now. And allow them to arrive and join you in whatever you were doing. Noticing what they look like, what their energy is like. How do they hold themselves? What's their posture? What are they wearing? And as you're here, go ahead and invite your future self to begin to tell you all of the things that they're excited about right now. Everything that's going on, where they've been, who they've met. Just hold that beautiful sacred space for them to share their story of what's been happening. As you receive their excitement, noticing how is their energy, what is their body posture as they're sharing this with you? What is their expression like? And then asking them one more question. Do they have a message for you in this moment? After doing what they've done, knowing what they know, what do they want you to know right now? And just holding this gift, precious to your heart, a sacred gift from the future, a tool that you can use to carve your focus, your clarity. And taking a deep breath here into this space, filling up with gratitude. And then coming back into your own space, saying goodbye to them for now, and then opening up your eyes once you're ready.
That was exquisite. I don't want to come back.
Totally.
I like it there.
I understand.
This is the second time I've done this meditation with you, and it was completely different than before, and so celestial this time.
Ooh.
I yeah, it was, it's almost too sacred to even put words to.
Mm.
I love it. There was so much divinity
Mm.
in it. Thank you. That was
Thank you.
really, really heavenly. Thank you.
My pleasure.
So, y'all, this is a glimpse of just one of the many gifts of Rae. Rae is a beautiful gift to this planet, and this was just one of them. And another reason why I have her as one of my coaches and healers, because I trust her with my community, and my community is sacred to me. You're my little babies. I am the mama hen. I got to keep you safe and keep you, sheltered with, my wings of love, and so I only want to expose you to people who I truly care about and trust, and know that they'll do a fantastic job with you. So if you want to work with Rae, she actually has an amazing free gift, and I'll put the URL for that in the show notes. But Rae, can you tell us about that?
Yeah, absolutely. So a lot that I shared with you all is, there's different strategies that we can be taking to be stepping into this next level version of ourselves, whether it is in business or relationships or personal growth, healing, health and well-being, your own spiritual development. There's always a strategy to make this journey into that next step more easy and graceful, and really just soulfully connected to spirit. So what I wanted to do for Tiffany's community is to gift you all a free soulful strategy session. So these are 30-minute calls, and we'll be able to kind of take that next step. We'll do a little bit more of that vision work, finding the clarity of where you want to be, or who you want to be, and then looking at, okay, where are you at now, and what are those steps and pieces that you need to take or do or be to get to that future state a little bit quicker, but not with the push or force. So that's what I would love to gift you all. And by the end of our time together on those calls, we'll have a personalized plan for you to take action on, literally starting right after those calls. So that way you can get going, because I know that there's a purpose that you're here in Tiffany's community. There's a purpose that you're here, feeling the energy of wanting to heal, wanting to give back to the world and see what's possible. And the world needs this right now more than ever. So it is the time to step up. If you're questioning, should I do it? Should I not? Should I work with Tiffany? Should I not? Should I, whatever you're, questioning in your life, like just go for it. If you feel like it is a yes in your heart, then like now is the time. Like we literally do not have time to waste. So that's the gift that I wanted to just share with your community. I think it'll be really fun for everyone that's the empaths that are, on this journey themselves.
That's so generous of you. Thank you very, very much, Rae.
Yeah.
So you can take advantage of her free gift and work with her. Just go on to the URL that I'll put in the show notes. You can also work with her in the crown level of my embodiment program. So for that, you just go to embodimentprogram.com. And in addition to the group topics and healing and mentoring that's in the heart level, if you want more one-on-one, then the crown level has you working once a month with me. You can also work with Rae and or Bill. So you're getting a few different one-on-ones every month to continue with your journey. And it also has an in-person experiential workshop. Tentatively, it's slated for the end of this year, but it may end up going into next year with COVID. But whenever it is, it'll be the exact right time for you.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So thank you again, Rae. I love you. I appreciate you. And
too.
I'm so happy that we are on this playground together in this university together, university of life. Oh, I love you.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for having me on here. And I just absolutely love the work you're doing. So thank you. Please keep doing it, keep sharing it, and keep expanding and, bringing this amazing community together. It's needed.
Thank you, my love. All right. Have a beautiful and blessed day and week, and stay tuned for our next episode next week. Can't wait. Bye for now.
Bye.
Namaste.
Thank you for listening to Soul of an Empath with Tiffany Cano. If you enjoyed this show, please rate and recommend it on Apple Podcast, Spotify, Stitcher, or wherever you are listening to it. You can get more information from soulofanempath.com. May you be blessed with love, health, peace, joy, spiritual oneness, prosperity, and abundance. So be it. So be it. So be it.